People do crazy things when they're grieving or in shock. People handle stress in strange ways. But this woman had stated very clearly that she regarded Kyron as her own child. She said, I don't look at this as someone else's child that I'm raising. I don't regard this as a stepchild. This affects me the same as if my own child, my own flesh and blood, had gone missing. I'm hurting as much as if this was my own child. I've been doing this for 45 years, and I've seen people handle stress and worry and panic in a lot of different ways. But I don't think I've ever seen a mother frantic to find her own child that got into sexting, sending sexual images, flirting, having provocative conversations with someone else while they were frantically looking for their child, while they were grieving the possible loss of their child. Self-pleasure, romance, relationships are the last thing someone has energy for when they're worrying about that kind of a tragic loss. So you have to ask yourself, what kind of mother figure is sending half-naked photos to her boyfriend when the boy that she supposedly considers her own child is somewhere out in the elements or possibly lying dead in a ditch? Now, this, of course, does not prove that Terry had any involvement in Kyron's disappearance, but it does highlight a pattern of someone who didn't seem to have a typical response pattern, didn't seem to have a typical sensitivity to or a caring response to the absence of this child, to the fact that this child had seemingly been abducted. Someone that would do that just doesn't seem to care that it was looking more and more like this little boy was never coming home. One's mind tends to race and wonder, what is he going through? What has he gone through? How could this have happened? What could I have done to change this? I took him to school. It was my responsibility. I was trusted with this child. This was on my watch, and he supposedly disappeared in the space of 50 feet inside a school building full of children, teachers, adults. Clearly, the behavior was just out of character for someone that was truly empathetic and sympathetic for the loss of this child. Inconsistent with someone that had loved a child and would be heartbroken at their absence. The behavior was just simply out of character and didn't match what Terry had spent years trying to prove, that she was a normal, loving mother. So what was Terry's reasoning for sending lewd messages to Kane's old pal? Sending messages that were provocative and flirtatious while her stepson, according to her son, was just gone without a trace. Well, according to her, Kane was unfaithful to her prior to Kyron's disappearance. And Terry was seeking comfort from Michael, something she desperately needed, especially during a time when everyone was pointing a finger at her, basically calling her a murderer.
This was in retaliation for something that he was doing that I found out about while this was happening. And this particular person was actually his friend and sent to the house. So this was a setup. I'm saying this person came to the house. He was Kane's friend. I did this deliberately because I was angry and getting back at him.
So you text and say, I'll show you what pleasure is?
I had no interest in having this person in my life. This was something to screw with Kane because I was angry with him because he was doing the exact same thing with somebody else.
So who was this someone else? Well, Kane never admitted to an affair. No woman ever came forward. Kane claimed he had no idea Terry was having a revenge affair with his friend, or that she was even angry at him. For him, the morning Kyron vanished started out just like any other ordinary day. But when Desiree found out about the affair and heard Terry's explanation that she had slept with Cain's friend out of revenge, she worried that there was something they had missed. Had Terry been hiding a secret rage against Cain? Had she been fuming inside, bottled up with so much anger and resentment that she was looking for revenge? And if so, was it possible she could have taken that rage out on poor, sweet little Kyron just to punish his father?